Hey there lads and ladies, it is Petrifying Pumpkins here, and I am back with a fairly exciting news update for us VR fans. So this video is all about Amy Hennig, and if you don't know who Amy Hennig is, she's a fairly well-known video game developer slash director slash writer. I'd go as far as to say she's probably one of the most influential female developers in the industry, if not the most influential. Her most well-known work includes the Legacy of Kain series when she was working at Crystal Dynamics, and I actually played one of those games on the PS1. It was called Soul Reaver, and it was a very good game with a gripping story. Back then there weren't that many games with a focus on narrative, maybe Metal Gear Solid 1 being the only other one to do it around the same time, back in the late 90s. So then she moved on to Naughty Dog, one of the most highly regarded studios out there, where she worked on Jak and Daxter and of course the amazing Uncharted series. So things took a bit of a turn for Amy on the development of Uncharted 4. Now we may never know exactly what happened, but part way through the development of that game that she was leading, there was some kind of conflict, and then Neil Druckmann and Bruce Straley took over in her role on Uncharted 4. Those are the same two lads who did The Last of Us, by the way. So shortly after this, and very likely because of this, Amy left Naughty Dog and she got snapped up by EA to work on a single-player Star Wars game codenamed Project Ragtag with EA studio Visceral Games. But then EA did an EA and they shut down that studio because they thought that Ragtag was too linear, which is EA speak for there wasn't enough loot boxes in it. So they moved production of that game over to EA Vancouver. However, it was unsure how much of the game would be changed nor what happened to Amy Hennig. So then fast forward to a couple of weeks ago to a Eurogamer article where Hennig finally got to reveal that she no longer works at EA, and she hasn't since January. So not only that, but she has recently started her own independent studio, and most excitingly for us is that Hennig is looking into VR game development. She's currently consulting with VR companies and doing her research into that field of game development, but this is a fairly exciting revelation. Of course, this is very early days here. She has only just formed the studio, plus she wants to keep the studio small scale, saying that 15 employees would be the maximum that she wants. So maybe don't go expecting something on the scale of Uncharted or something with cutting edge graphics, but do expect an engrossing narrative with very well written characters. Of course, her game may not even come to PSVR. Firstly, because it might be years away when maybe a PSVR 2 has already been released. Secondly, because it might just be a PC VR only title. And thirdly, because it is possible that there could be a little bit of resentment from Hennig towards Sony based on how she exited the Sony-owned Naughty Dog studio. But she recently praised Sony for being brave enough to continue putting out those AAA single-player games in an environment where everyone is aiming for those big open world games and those games as a services. She was even fairly kind to EA, saying that she understood why they did what they did. So it certainly seems she's not burning any bridges. So my hopes are up that we will see Hennig support VR in the future, and I am delighted to hear it. Hennig is a huge get for VR, and for the naysayers who claim that VR is dead, you have a huge platform holder in Sony pushing for us, you have a huge publisher in Bethesda pushing for us, and you have huge personalities in the industry pushing for us like Todd Howard and now Amy Hennig apparently. So that's it for this video, lads and ladies. I hope you are as excited to hear about Hennig looking into VR as I am, and I know this info is a couple of weeks old by now, but I'm only just getting around to doing this, so sorry about that. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this, then please consider doing the usual shite on the screen now, and let me know in the comments if you care about Hennig. That's it for this one. Bye for now.